Don't mess with me, pork chop. What day is this?
It's February 2nd. Groundhog Day.
You know, I thought it was yesterday.
Oh.
Welcome back to Thinking Critical. This is Wes, and today we're going to look at the DC Comics February solicitations. Not a shocker. It's a lot of Future State. It's a little bit of Black Label. There's a couple of specials in there. There's a Valentine's Day special, but there's also another mini-series that's starting up that I think is going to be pretty cool. Has one of my favorite artists on it. We're definitely going to talk about that. The first thing we are going to talk about is Generations Forged, #1, which is the sequel to Generations Shattered, which comes out in January. This is kind of a condensed version, I guess, of the Generations stories. We're going to get Generation 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, all leading into Generation 5, and that was the name of the event that Dan Didio was working on. We know that was kind of scrapped. Future State is essentially them salvaging that information, making it just a 2-month conversion style event as we move on. But it feels like Generations Forged itself is going to have some more effects on the future of the DC Comics universe, specifically with the Omniverse. Now, I don't think DC Comics is actually calling it that. I think that's what Bleeding Cool's kind of dubbed it, and we're using the term here, I guess. Hopefully, DC will give us a better idea of that. And I also believe that they're going to talk about the Omniverse and kind of how it works in this week's Dark Knight's Death Metal #5. So I'll probably talk about that tomorrow. I don't know if I'm going to review that comic, but I might talk about that part specifically if there's enough information in there. Now, before I get into all these details of the February solicitations for DC Comics, I do want to say, if you haven't subscribed to the channel, subscribe, hit the bell for notifications. Give me a thumbs up if you enjoy these videos. Give me a thumbs down if you don't. Either way, I want to hear your thoughts in the comments section. What are you looking forward to from DC Comics in February? Are you excited about Future State? Are there a couple of those titles that have you salivate that you're bought into? Are there some that you're absolutely going to skip? Is there a diamond in the rough as far as some of these creators we might not be as aware of? As we normally are with DC Comics, there's a lot of writers and artists that we don't see all that often. So it could be interesting. I definitely want to know what should I be on the lookout for. Now let's go. I'm going to bring up the CBR articles, and we're going to talk about Generations Forged #1, and then we'll get into the full lineup of Future State and all the Black Label stuff. So this is what they're saying about Generations Forged. It's written by Dan Jurgens, Robert Venditti, Andy Schmidt, and I believe the artists that they're naming are Brian Hitch, Mike Perkins, Bernard Chang, and Paul Peltier. So dispersed through time by the villain Dominus, our ragtag team of generational heroes featuring 1939 Batman, Kamandi, Superboy, Steel, Starfire, Sinestro, Booster Gold, and Dr. Light must find a way to restore the timeline, and what they ultimately discover is something far, far greater. You'll have to read it to believe it as time dies and generations rise. It certainly sounds like they're laying out the idea for the new Omniverse, or whatever you want to call it. What's interesting is we knew that there was an unnamed character, an unidentified hero in the Generation Shattered. He has been identified now. It is Superboy, and it is believed to be the Clark Kent Superboy from back in the day. Obviously, he was Superboy before he was Superman. So it looks like that character is going to be in there, and it's also going to feature Dominus. As far as comic book history goes, a rather somewhat recent villain. I think he was created in the 90s. Which should be really cool. I'm excited about this. I think that this cover is cool. I like the other cover actually better, but I'm excited to see this. I've been reading Avengers Forever, where it's got like an all-star team of Avengers from different generations of time kind of go together and go out on a hero adventure. And I'm hoping this is going to be something like that because I'm really enjoying that. Shout out to Yule Carter for Fantastic Comics for the recommendation. I started reading it a couple months ago. I had to stop because I was reading so many new comics for the channel, but this was a light week, and I was actually able to jump back on it. And it's very good, and I'm enjoying it a lot. It has me very hopeful that Generations Shattered and Generations Forged are essentially going to be something very similar to that because I like it a lot. And I do believe this is going to have far-reaching effects on the DC universe as far as continuity moving forward. And it sounds like that's also going to be covered in the Dark Knight's Death Metal series as well, which will be wrapped up by the time these comic books come out. So getting into the rest of the solicitations. The first comic that they identify is Superman House of L. Now, this is one of the Future State series. I believe it's the only Future State series that did not solicit and release an issue in January. I guess this is a one-shot, a one-off that's coming in February. It's written by one of the writers that Perch and myself identified when we did the up-and-coming writers to keep an eye on who's going to be the next generation of high-quality talent. Philip Kennedy Johnson was absolutely on there. He is the writer from The Last God. I'm a really big fan. Probably the best fantasy comic out there if you like that sort of thing. Not as familiar with Scott Godlewski. If you have any thoughts on Scott, let me know. Let's read what the Superman House of L #1 is going to be. It's $5.99 one shot. Centuries into the future, the bloodline of Kal-El, the hero we know as Clark Kent, continues. Meet a new generation of Kryptonian heroes as they stand against one of the greatest threats they've ever faced, a diabolical foe called Red King. Get ready for the unexpected debut of the twins known as Rowan and Ronan Kent, descendants of Jonathan Kent. So apparently we're getting his kids or his grandkids. Rowan is the new Superman of Earth, while his sister is a Blue Lantern. So we're getting the getting into the Lantern Corps again. Also on board are, I'm not even going to try and read that one, whose mother was Tamaranian, and other heroes, all led by the original Man of Steel himself. Plus, don't miss an appearance by the Black Racer. So obviously, we will be seeing Superman. I imagine this is Clark Kent, Kal-El right there. He appears to be sitting on some type of throne. Yep, definitely going to check this out. I think Phil Kennedy Johnson is very good. Does sound like it is going to be a one-shot. And there is a cardstock variant for $7. Now, getting into the other comic books, here's the Aquaman series, I believe. Brandon Thomas, Daniel Samper. This is following the adventures of Andy Curry, the daughter of Mira and Arthur, and her trainer, mentor, Jackson Hyde. The next Batman, I imagine this will be the second best-selling title out of Future State behind The Dark Detective, which is going to feature the actual Bruce Wayne. This is written by John Ridley with Laura Braga. The Outsiders backup story is Brandon Thomas. Sumit Kumar, one of my favorite artists. We're going to talk about him a little bit later on that series. I think sounds interesting. Then Arkham Knights, Paul Jenkins and Jack Herbert. Now, this is going to be Tim or Luke Fox. Not sure which one of them is yet. They have not identified who the new Batman is. Do they give that away in here? The adventures of the next Batman continue. Batman has captured a pair of murderous fugitives, but he faces a tough decision. Lead them for the magistrate troops, which means certain death, or risk his life and fight his way through Gotham City to deliver them to the GCPD for trial. He's Batman. There's no other choice. This is an $8 comic, 64 pages, main story, 2 backup stories, or you can get the $9 cardstock variant, and this is issue 3 of 4. Then the next one is going to feature a backup story of Batgirls from Vita Ayala and Gotham City Sirens by Paula Sevenberger, Emmanuel Lupacino. Yep, still not identifying who the actual new Batman is. Also $8 with a $9 variant cover. Batman Superman, Jean Ye. Art by Ben Oliver and Scott McDaniel. This is I don't know. I'm probably going to pass on this. One. $5 or $4 comic, $5 cover price. More stuff with the Magistrate. He's got Kryptonite Caverns. And, Transformed Professor Pig. Nothing. Catwoman. Number 2, Ramby, one of my favorite writers. Another writer, Perch and I, featured in our up-and-coming talent, Otto Schmidt on art. Covered by Liam Sharp. You know it's going to be good. So that must be... Yep, that's a dope cover. I think I just saw that on Twitter yesterday. $4 comic, $5 for the cardstock. And this is more the heist that she's on where she has to steal the entire trade. Probably going to pass on that. This is what I believe will be the best-selling of all of the Future State titles. It'll be Dark Detective, because this has got the Bruce Wayne on the run. Everyone thinks he's dead, but he's really alive. Backup story of Grifters. This is Mariko Tamaki. That might be the only reason it doesn't sell, because it does have a writer that historically does not move units. Art by Dan Morris should be absolutely great. Matthew Rosenberg, I don't know. He had 5 good issues of Uncanny X-Men. That's about the best I can say about him. His Punisher, Blue, yeah, was not very good. So the only thing that can probably stop this from being the bestseller is Mariko Tamaki. We'll see if Bruce Wayne can overcome the deficit of Mariko Tamaki and actually move units. That's a very bad choice as far as the writer. $6, $7 cardstock variant. Obviously has a main story and a backup story. Oh, wait. I wanted to point this out. I like this cover. Even though it's kind of generic, I think it looks good. That's Lee Bermejo. That makes sense. He's one of my favorite artists. That makes sense. And here's the final issue of Dark Detective. Yeah, Brian Boland, obviously from The Killing Joke. Pretty dope backup cover. This one's got the Red Hood story from Joshua Williamson. Why would you have Joshua Williamson write a backup story to Mariko Tamaki in anything? Just think about that. This is the new DC Comics. Joshua Williamson gets second billing to Mariko Tamaki. Enough said. God, jeez, get the hell out of here. All right, we got The Flash #2, Brandon Vietti with Brandon Peterson on art. Yeah. Barry Allen trying to save Wally West, who's become the murderer. Already read that story. Green Lantern. We did not get a lot of information in the last solicitations, but now that we have more information, it sounds pretty bad. The Hal Jordan story is by Christopher Priest and Dexter Soy, which actually is a pretty damn good creative pairing. I guess this is the backup story along with Teen Lantern from Josie Campbell. Last Lanterns by Jeffrey Thorne. Okay. I don't know why this isn't the headliner, Christopher Priest and Dexter Soy, but another reason they probably won't be able to move this as much as they probably should. Yeah. Silly decisions all around. This is a pretty good cover, actually. I like the Black Mask in this Harley Quinn series. Stephanie Daniels, Simone DeMeo. Actually, an artist I like a lot. And, I imagine this one will do fine for Harley Quinn fans. And obviously we've got the Scarecrow, Black Mask, some villains we know, along with the Magistrate. Now we get into Wonder Woman, Immortal Wonder Woman at that. I don't know, if you're going to have Vita Ayala write anything, like in Future State, why isn't she writing the Wonder Woman series? Like her Wonder Woman short story in Wonder Woman, was that 80th anniversary or is it 750? I think it was Wonder Woman 750. It was excellent. It's like a 5-star comic. It's one of the best short stories I've ever read. But they don't. It's DC Comics for you. This is Michael Conrad and Becky Cloonan. Art by Jen Bartel. Nubia, the twin sister of Wonder Woman, L.L. McKinney, Aletha Martinez, and Mark Morales. I don't think this Wonder Woman is going to sell anything close to the Joelle Jones Wonder Woman. And you'll see why when we look at the cover. Here's Justice League. And this is the new Flash that looks exactly like Quicksilver, but is non-binary. Oh, and it's black, but otherwise, this is Quicksilver, but not binary. This is written by Joshua Williamson in a headlining role like he should be. Backup story by Ram V. This is definitely on the list of gots to read. Definitely got the best creative team as far as writers. Exiled to a distant planet, the Justice League suspects an imposter in their midst, but not even the next Batman and Green Lantern can find the clues they're looking for. Meanwhile, on Earth, the terrifying return of a classic Justice League villain may spell doom for the planet. Who is that terrifying classic Justice League villain? Is it Cheetah? Could Cheetah be coming to the future for Future State? I doubt. And then in the Justice League Dark, all the world's terrible truths are revealed as the JLD make their last stand, hunted, beaten, and harvested for their magic. Zatanna, John Constantine, Detective Chimp, Ragman, Madame Xanadu, and Etrigan all unleash a desperate plan that could destroy them. Sounds like standard Justice League Dark fare, but it's Ram V, so it ought to be dope. Kara Zor-El, Superwoman. I don't imagine this one's going to sell well. Marguerite Bennett. I think it's Marguerite Scott that actually had the really good Batgirl, the short Batgirl run that was actually really good. I don't think it was her. I think this is the less talented Marguerite, I believe. I don't think that's going to do very well. Legion of Superheroes, Brian Michael Bendis cannot leave these characters, and this is doomed to begin with, and it's also got art by Riley Rossmo. That's like two strikes. Actually, it's 3 strikes. It's 4 strikes. It's Brian Michael Bendis is 3 strikes on its own. You get 3 strikes for each name for B&B and 1 for Riley Rossmo. Get the hell away from the Legion of Superheroes. You're ruining the franchise, man. Nightwing, my second favorite DC Comics character. I'm a huge fan of Dick Grayson. I'm hoping that Robert Venditti moves on to Nightwing when the new creative teams are announced. But because that's what I want, that's what's going to happen. But this is Andrew Constant with Nicola Scott. I don't know. I might just read it because it's not Dick Grayson. I know it's not Rick Grayson. I know Dick Grayson returned recently, but I just can't. I don't even want to read a Dan Jurgens Nightwing comic. That's how much I hated Rick Grayson. So maybe I'll check that one out. Robin Eternal definitely has the best covers, in my opinion. Don't know who Megan Fitzmartin is, but Eddie Barrows is a great artist. Really enjoy his work. Tim Drake is dead at the hands of the magistrate. Looks like we're going to get a Lazarus resin. Okay, whatever. That's probably a pass, even though the art's guaranteed to be great. Shazam. Tim Sheridan. Eduardo Pensic is Tim Sheridan, the guy that wrote High Level on Vertigo. He's a complete dickwad. Like, as soon as they announced that he was writing for Vertigo, he told all the fans to go screw themselves. He's just a complete, obnoxious jerk off on Twitter. Funny enough, he had the best or the second best written comic book of all the Vertigo titles, but he was such a jerk, no one bought him. Joke's on him, I guess. Suicide Squad. Robbie Thompson, Javi Fernandez. I like Javi Fernandez. Pisarin, he was just on Hawkman. He did a really good job. I think Robbie Thompson is extremely milquetoast. So I'm not sure on this one. Probably not. And I know this is on a different. Yeah, there's Peacemaker. Okay, whatever. Now probably gonna skip it. I think that's in a different Earth. Yeah, Earth 1. Whatever. Superman of Metropolis. Sean Lewis. Guardian, Sean Lewis. Mr. Miracle, Brandon Easton. Coley Hamner. Yeah, this feels. I really like Jonathan Kent. This feels pretty skippable. I don't imagine this is going to be very good. Superman versus Imperious Lex. This one looks like an absolute pass because it's Mark Russell, and I don't like Mark Russell. I think he's also I'm not going to get into it. Not a big fan. Some people might get this one just because you've got the future version of Lex Luthor and Superman going at it. That's going to be a pass for me. There's 2 issues of we're getting 2 issues of that one. And number 2 and 3. Easily skippable for me. Now we're talking. Now we're cooking. Superman Worlds of War. Basically, Superman Planet Hulk. Sounds pretty good. Philip Kennedy Johnson, one of the writers I think is great. Michael Yannon. I think it's Michael Yannon. I'm going to call him Michael Yannon. A very good artist in his own right. Got a unique style. Sometimes it can look lifeless if he's rushed too much. It certainly happened during some of that Batman run with Tom King. Not that there's anything he can do to save that. Then we got a Midnighter backup story, a Black Racer backup story, Mr. Miracle backup story. $9 or $8. $9 cardstock variant. I'm definitely going to be reading this one just because it's got one of the better writers and it's got one of the better ideas. Superman Clark Kent on Warworld for Mongol. Sounds pretty good. The Man of Steel is still down in the pits, duking it out with Mongol's hordes and working his way up to the big boss himself. But since it's Superman, there has to be more to this than a simple determination to win the title, right? Yes, because he's also got Midnighter out there on a mission to chase down a dangerous new power source, but the man standing in his way is all too familiar. Man, is that going to be? Who's that going to be? Is that going to be Bizarro Batman? Maybe it'll be Lex Luthor. No, he's already in another story. Who's it going to be? I don't know. Is it going to be Jor-El? Is he going to be the final boss? Who knows? Definitely reading this one. This one's going to be definitely worth it. It's one of the few that get really excited about. Superman Wonder Woman featuring the new Wonder Woman, Yara Flor. Dan Waters. Yeah, I think this is pretty skippable. Swamp Thing. This is the other one that looks really badass to me. And this is Ram V with Mike Perkins. That's definitely like one of the better creative pairings in here. Humanity strikes back. The shadow of Swamp Thing Supreme stretches across the globe as it has for centuries, people. The world is at peace until a rebellious faction of humanity ignites their terrible plan. Fueled by Woodrow Wilson's appetite for power, Woody's back, but Swamp Thing 2 harbors a secret one he must reveal in order to restore peace to the planet once again, but it will cost him everything he has. What could that secret be? I don't know. Let me know what you guys think that secret is. I'm not even going to guess. I'm not going to venture a guess. And here we got the Red X. Yes. Once again, Tim Sheridan, Future State Teen Titans. Rafa Sandoval, such a good artist. But I'm pretty sure that's the guy. He was such a jerk off. Now we're talking Wonder Woman, Joelle Jones. She doesn't look as great on this cover. But once we get here, we can see why this is going to be the second bestseller behind Batman. Even more smoking hot Wonder Woman. I think people are going to find this worth their money. I think this will probably be, like, of all the new characters that they're introducing in Future State, this is going to be the one that hits with people and will be the standout character that will last for generations. I'm just making a prediction here. Look at this Wonder Woman. Bam. Emerging from the Amazon rainforest, the new Wonder Woman must battle her way through hell. Witness Yara Flor at the height of her power as she takes on the king of the underworld, Hades himself. Betrayed by a close ally, Yara's back is against the wall as she is forced to battle legions of demons for survival and liberate the Themysciran sisters. Oh, definitely going to be reading this. I don't think Joelle Jones is a great writer. She is a great artist, but it's two issues. I'm going to be reading that one. Oh, so that is Future State. There's not a lot to be excited about. I think the Dark Detective with a different writer would be really exciting. I think the Superman Planet Hulk book is going to be dope. The Swamp Thing is going to be dope. I'm definitely reading Future State Wonder Woman. Yara Flor is my boo. I like her. She's great. She's going to replace Diana Prince. You heard it here, folks. Now we're getting into the holiday special for Valentine's Day. DC Love is a Battlefield. This is a $10, 80-page prestige format book. Why is it prestige format? Kevin Scott, Andrew Wheeler, Crystal Fraser, Regine Sawyer. Why? This should be on newsprint, given away for $2. That's what it's worth. We've obviously already talked about Generations Forge #1. I will definitely be reading those. I think those are going to be great. This is the one that I'm really, really, really intrigued by because the artist is Sumit Kumar. He worked with Ram V in the past. They did Rune of Thieves, A Brigand's Tale. If you like fantasy, go check that comic book out. They also did These Savage Shorts. And if you like historical horror stuff, go check that out. They're both great comic books. It sucks DC doesn't have them working together, but he is illustrating this. Now, my only trepidation is Dave Wielgoss is the writer. He's never written a comic book as far as I know. He's written some short stories, but he was an editor on the Batman team for like 6 years. Is he a good writer? I don't know. I'm probably going to check this out. It is a 5-issue miniseries. I think the art is going to be amazing. Man-Bat is not my favorite character, but this could be cool. For years, Kirk Langstrom has struggled with his monstrous alter ego, Man-Bat, and the serum that transformed him, but he's finally hit rock bottom following a devastating setback, and he's going to take his anger out on every single citizen of Gotham City. Will the combined might of Batman and the GCPD be enough to stop Langstrom once and for all, or will this just be the start of Man-Bat's devastation? So you sold me at Sumit Kumar on a weird horror Batman book. It's going to be dope. Now we got Truth and Justice #1, Jeffrey Thorne, Crisscross on art. Now, Crisscross obviously worked with Milestone. Is actually a really good artist. I like Jordi Tarragona as well. I don't know. Maybe I like Crisscross's art. I like Jordi Tarragona. Vixen takes center stage in the debut issue of this new team-up series. Mary McCabe is many things: superhero, model, activist. All right, I'm probably out of it now. The superhero, model, activist, superhero. No, thank you. But can she add God Killer to the list? Vixen teams up with Dr. Mist and Empower. Doesn't matter. Once it said she's a superhero, model, activist, popped right out. Sorry, Crisscross. I wish you were on something better than that. We also got Earth 1 Volume 3, Grant Morrison's Wonder Woman, Yannick Paquette. DC's Dear DC Supervillains. Nope. We'll pass on all that stuff. These are all their crappy YA graphic novels. Could care less. Now we get into the Black Label stuff. American Vampire 1976. Scott Snyder, Raphael Albuquerque. First issue was interesting enough. If you like American Vampire, it's probably going to be something you enjoy. I think I'm not going to be reading Batman Black and White. See, this is interesting here. I like Nick Dragotta. He's a really good artist. I really liked him on East and West. I know he's also writing his own, his own Image series, writing and illustrating it soon. So I would like to read that, and I would like to read the story by Ben Gall. But everything else on here, I mean, I don't know. Tim Seeley is he's so average. I don't know. $6 for a comic with it's probably going to be 22 pages of good work. No, it's 48 pages. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah, 22 pages of good work. Maybe 20. I don't know. That's a tough sell for me. Batman White Knight Harley Quinn from Katana Collins. I believe Sean Gordon Murphy helps with the story. Matteo Scalera fits right into the White Knight universe art-wise. Probably should be selling more, if I'm being completely honest. I think this is going to do well. Hopefully this keeps expanding the White Knight universe. It's one of the good things that DC is doing right now. And I don't think they're going to be able to screw it up. It's weird how much DC is going to be riding on Tom King to move anything not future state. He's got Batman, Catwoman. I will be reading the train wreck. I'm going to be honest. The Clayman art will make it it won't be awful just because they'll have good images, but the story's going to be terrible. But he's also got Rorschach and does he still have Strange Adventures? We'll see here. Sandman the Dreaming. G. Willow Wilson, Javier Rodriguez. Easy pass on that one. I don't know. I've heard Far Sector's okay. I like the art by Jamal Campbell. There's too many Green Lanterns out there right now. JoJo's fine ass. The Green Lantern Season 2. Leon Sharp's art has just been wasted on this series. Grant Morrison really lost it. He's just a great, everything Grant Morrison does is amazing, or it's just too weird for me. This was in the too weird category, although the art was amazing. But this is wrapping up. Rorschach, Tom King, Jorge Fornes. When will he ruin a character? Do you think he'll ruin Rorschach by issue 5? It only takes 5 to 6 issues before it completely destroys a character. I think he's got to have done it by now. But I will keep reading this one, I guess. Scooby-Doo, who cares? Sweet Tooth, Jeff Lemire. Then we get into Dark Knights. I already got the deluxe hardcover edition coming out a month after the event ends. So, whatever. That'll do it, folks. That is the February solicitations for DC Comics. What do you think? Are you excited by all this stuff? I'm definitely going to be getting Generations Forged. Definitely going to be reading the Superman Planet Hulk thing. Probably the Justice League Swamp Thing. There's another one in there that I have to read. Oh, Wonder Woman. It's my new boo.